2 seasons ago, the Houston Rockets were one of the best teams in the NBA, seemed like a title contender, made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals, and many people say that James Harden deserved the MVP 2 years ago for his performance carrying the Houston Rockets, and that was when he and Dwight Howard, their chemistry was really there, and the Rockets were full of defenders like Patrick Beverley, although he was injured in the playoffs, but Trevor Ariza and Josh Smith was actually okay on defense, and Corey Brewer. They hit some timely three-pointers, and it seemed like the Rockets were going in the right direction, so this previous offseason they acquired Ty Lawson to relieve James Harden of some of the ball-handling duties, and it seemed like they were really geared to potentially winning a championship, and then it got really bad really quick as the defense for the team declined. James Harden, who grew into a pretty decent defensive player, regressed last season. Even if he was still fantastic from an offensive standpoint, he and Dwight Howard really fell out. And the team just had this overall morale of like, they get down by 10 points or so and they immediately just start sulking and they don't really want to fight and come back. Whereas 2 years ago, the one thing that made Houston so good was they were just constantly coming at you. I mean, every single possession, Corey Brewer sprinting up and down floor, Harden impossible in one-on-ones. It didn't happen last season. And so now the Rockets, they've made some personnel changes. Dwight Howard is gone. Clint Capella is now your new starting center. I actually have high hopes for Capella. He's a bit thin, so he's going to want to build some muscle to be banging up against 7-footers in the paint, but he's a solid rebounder. He was grabbing about 6 boards a game for them, but he only played 19 minutes during the season, so I mean, if you extend that to around 30, I think there's a decent chance Capella could average probably a double-double. He already averages a block a game with only 19 minutes, so I like Capella at your starting center position. Now, they do also have Nene for the center position. I don't think very highly of him at this point in his career. I think Capella is the better player, but I also think Nene could give you a serviceable 20 minutes per game. He might end up starting. I would disagree with that, but he is there. But besides that, it seems like the Rockets are going all offense here. I mean, they hired Mike D'Antoni, which speaks for itself when it comes to offense versus defense. James Harden regressed last year defensively, and then they also signed Ryan Anderson as well as Eric Gordon in free agency this year. I think they're just going to be trying to outscore everybody. I mean, you do have Patrick Beverley still. He's a very good on-ball defender. Trevor Ariza is a nice defensive player. He's not locked down, but he's cool. So they do still have a few defenders on the roster, but given that Mike D'Antoni's the head coach, I don't know how much of an emphasis is going to be placed on that side of the floor, which I don't necessarily agree with, but I mean, D'Antoni has a track record here. We have to assume it's going to keep up. And I actually think you're going to see some young guys for the Rockets start to get some minutes here because, I mean, they've been title contenders for a couple seasons, so normally young players do not play in those situations, but when you're looking at guys like KJ McDaniels, he might get some minutes this year, Sam Decker, Montrezl Harrell, who seems like a very energetic power forward, because, I mean, it's safe to say Houston, they've fallen out of the title contention race in the Western Conference. I think they could finish around, somewhere between the 5 seed in the West and win maybe like 40-something games, I would hope at least, just with a fresh start and James Harden. And for what it's worth, I mean, Ryan Anderson and Eric Gordon are going to put up points. This team is going to score a lot this year. And then I think moving forward, how can the Rockets really get themselves to the next level? Well, the salary cap is supposed to jump up to $102 million after this season. Currently, they're at 90, so they would have $12 million, but you could trade both Corey Brewer and KJ McDaniels to free up an extra 10, so then they would be sitting at $22 million in free agency, and then I think they could land themselves a potential big-name free agent, because even if they're not the best team in the world, having James Harden there, it's going to hopefully draw in some sort of free agent attention. I mean, they signed Eric Gordon and Ryan Anderson this year, so I think Houston, they're going to be putting some of their eggs into that free agency basket, but I am also intrigued by their young players who I imagine are going to get some real minutes this season. there is also Michael Beasley, who was like legitimately pretty okay for them last season. So hey, maybe Beasley can be a decent contributor for them, whether it be off the bench or potentially starting, because I think he has potential to be a better defender than Ryan Anderson. But again, Mike D'Antoni's your head coach, so I think this Houston Rockets team is going to score a hell of a lot of points this year. They're going to outscore some people. James Harden's going to put up a great offensive season, as we would imagine. Hopefully Patrick Beverley, Trevor Ariza, Clint Capella can hold the ship enough defensively. It would be nice if James Harden could at least get somewhat close to what he was 2 years ago defensively, which was at least okay. And then I think Houston, I think they're a playoff team in the West, probably. It's not in the top 4 seeds, I would imagine, but I think they'll be a fun team. Hopefully they'll actually give a crap, because they didn't last season for a good chunk. And then if they're good enough, I think they could attract some free agent attention next year, because the free agent class next year is pretty wild. I mean, one of those names could potentially be Blake Griffin, depending on how this season goes for the Clippers. Who knows? So there's definitely some options for Houston, and I think it's going to start with them hopefully being respectable this year. They can put their eggs into the free agent basket, but they also have some nice, intriguing players as well who are a bit younger, guys like Sam Decker, Montrezl Harrell, who I think will get some more minutes this year. So you're not the title contenders that you were a couple of seasons ago, but I do think Houston has a decent enough foundation to build it up from here. And given that Daryl Morey is the GM, I don't think it's going to take too long for some significant moves to happen. This guy doesn't wait around. And here's some more Overwatch outro for you. This time we're playing Roadhog, and immediately I got to run up on Reinhardt. Too many people, they want to get scared once Reinhardt shows up with his shield. You just got to walk through that thing, okay? He can't do crap. And then I just got to smack Reaper with my chain right there because his health was so low. And friggin' Diva, after she got buffed, she is so annoying now. So to actually kill her like that when she's out of her mech, it's pretty damn fulfilling. Now this one right here was, I didn't earn this kill at all. Friggin' because I'm Roadhog and I have so much health, I didn't die from Tracer's ult and she ended up killing herself. And then I have to kill Lucio along with it because we don't want the other team to get any heals. And then, just for good measure and to piss Lucio off a little bit more, just gotta hook him and kill him one more time. And right here, Soldier thought he was all cool being up top. Oh no, man, you gotta get down here, alright? I need you on the objective so I can shoot you in the face. And then I gotta ult them at the end of the game just to push them off of the point. As we see Diva in her mech suit there. We got the win, got some kills, hooked some people, controlled the objective. I didn't get any golds because, well, it was a good team, and I'm out.